The central bank has decided to reduce the standing deposit facility rate and the standing lending facility rate of the central bank by 50 basis points to 7% and 8% respectively. Speaking during a media briefing, Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka expressed the following views.
Now, clearly a great deal has been done to relax monetary policy, and that needs to be transmitted to market lending rates, and that we have not seen. In addition to all the interest rate action that has been taken, as you know, there was a deposit cap placed. What we have seen so far, it has not met the expectations Monetary Board had in terms of a reduction in market lending rates. The Monetary Board took the decision to monitor closely what is happening to market lending rates, and if necessary, they would impose appropriate caps on market lending rates of individual institutions, of financial institutions, if the intended reduction in market lending rates is not realized within specific timeline. So we are determined to do this. These lending rate caps are not a good thing. Any caps are not a good thing. But given this structural problem, we have to somehow address it. And we need given our debt dynamics, we need probably going forward about $3 billion US dollars per year.
While the Sri Lankan economy's woes are challenging, it seems there are more problems across India.
As per official data released by the Reserve Bank of India, 8 core sectors in the country's economy recorded a low growth for 50 consecutive months. A downturn in Asia's third-largest economy is denting sales of everything from cars to clothing, forcing companies to curtail production and raising hopes that the Indian government will unveil an economic stimulus to revive growth. Many leading Indian companies have reduced its workforce or have announced plans to do so. In April this year, India's Jet Airways announced temporary cessation of all its operations after Indian banks rejected any further funding for the failing carrier. Meanwhile, India's state-owned telecommunications company Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, more commonly known as CBSL, is expected to post losses of over $1.9 billion US dollars for the financial year 2018-2019 and is likely to lay off as many as 54,000 employees from its workforce. India mobile network operator Aircel Limited shut down operations in early 2018 due to loss-making operations and heavy debt. Parle Products Private Limited, a leading biscuit manufacturer in the subcontinent, might lay off up to 10,000 workers in the coming months due to sluggish economic growth. India's auto components industry, which is currently facing degrowth, has witnessed more than 100,000 job losses over the last few months. Should this trend persist for another 3 to 4 months, job losses in the industry could lead to more than 1 million. The country's largest car maker, Maruti Suzuki India, cut over 3,000 temporary jobs due to the ongoing slump in the automobile industry. India Post, which was once the lifetime of the Indian postal network, now tops the list for the highest loss-making state institution in India. State-owned Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, which was once India's most profitable company, logged a loss of more than 557,700 US dollars on natural gas output in the fiscal year ended 31st March 2018, as the government-mandated price for the fuel was less than the cost of production. Meanwhile, nearly 23,000 dollar millionaires have left the country since 2014. According to a report by New World Health, 7,000 ultra-rich Indians shifted overseas in 2017 alone, while figures are expected to increase in 2019. The Indian government is now struggling to extradite businessmen it claims to have fled the country after defaulting on billions of dollars of bank loans. Approximately 31 Indians, including Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi's family, who was accused in the Punjab National Bank fraud, and Jatin Mehta, have fled overseas to avoid prosecution. As at the end of March 2019, India's external debt stood at 543 billion US dollars, approximately 19.7% of the country's 2.972 trillion US dollar GDP. According to an official survey by the Indian government, the unemployment rate reached its highest in 45 years to 6.1%.